Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Radiant Essential, and I'm your host Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So today I'm going to give some recommendations as to what types of honey to use for different skin types. As you guys probably already know, I use honey to wash my face every day instead of using a commercial cleanser. I've been doing it for years, love it. And if you don't already know, it's so super easy to do. All you do is, instead of using your face soap or your facial cleanser, all you would do is just rinse your skin, your face with warm water, apply some honey on the skin, rub it around, rinse it off, and there you go. So with recommending different honeys for different skin types, there's many different forms of honey on the market, and everyone has different skin types. Some people have oily skin, some people have acne-prone skin, some people have mature skin, some people have a combination skin, all of that. And I find that there's different honeys that work really well with different types of skin types. So I'm going to give some recommendations with that. But the first thing I just want to mention is, when you're purchasing honey, to always make sure to buy organic and to buy raw. The reason why is, first of all, with the organic honey, is that you know that there's no pesticides in it, no chemicals, and usually no fillers. So it's usually, if you're buying honey from a health food store and it's a raw organic honey, you're pretty safe to know that it's a pure honey. Second thing is that when it is raw and it's not pasteurized, there is an antibacterial element to it. And so with pasteurizing any honey, it loses the antibacterial properties. So all honey have antibacterial properties, which help to keep the skin clean and to balance out any overgrowth of bacteria, which for many people with acne-prone skin, that's an issue. So when selecting a honey, if someone has acne-prone skin, I would actually highly recommend Manuka honey. And the reason being is that it is the only honey on the market that has an extremely high antibacterial property to it, and therefore it really helps with acne-prone skin and keeping it clean and eliminating bacteria that overgrows on the skin that can cause breakouts. Now, if someone has more mature skin, or they have very sensitive skin or very dry skin, I suggest actually going more in the direction of using a smooth honey. And a smooth honey, when you look at it in a jar, it's kind of clear. You can kind of see through it. Go with that. But if someone, let's say, is younger, they're like a teenager, and they've got very oily skin or combination skin, or they get a lot of blackheads, then I would actually suggest going with a more coarser raw honey. So that's usually solid in the jar. And when you feel it, it's got really small sugar granules. I mean, it's not like super coarse, but it works as a good exfoliator. Some people find too that most of the week they'll use a smooth honey, and then maybe once a week they use a coarser honey as an exfoliation. So there's different ways of using it, but I find just with these three guidelines, it's much easier to select what honey to use for your face. When it comes down to, some people get allergic reactions to honey. Okay, I get emails once in a while of someone saying, I put honey on my skin and it's so itchy and it's getting red and blotchy and full of hives. Stop using it. Don't use it. Whatever you do, don't use it, because you're having an allergic reaction, and you just don't. What I suggest instead as an alternative is actually trying aloe vera gel, which you can get in bottled form at a health food store, and using that instead of the honey, and most people do fine with that. I do recommend using the honey over the aloe vera, but if you can't use it for reasons as of allergies, things like that, then try the aloe vera. Also, I get a lot of questions too regarding, what do you do if you wear makeup? I find in general, if someone's just using like a little bit of concealer on spots, or they're using a little bit of powder, that comes off with using honey as a cleanser. But if someone's using a lot of foundation and a lot of eye makeup, then I don't think that will clean it off, because foundation is made to stay on the skin no matter what. So you need a little bit more of a heavier cleanser. One thing that I do recommend is Burt's Bees, their Orange Essence Facial Cleanser. That's a good one to wash off any foundation and also eye makeup. Also, for eye makeup remover, a great thing is coconut oil. So these are things you can try out. and see. So yeah, so those are my tips on using honey as a cleanser. And oh, one other thing too, people have asked me, have I continued using honey as a cleanser while traveling? Now that I'm settled down here in Bali and I have a home, and I do, but when I was traveling, let's say if I go away for a weekend, or if I'm traveling for a few weeks at a time and I'm staying in different locations, then I don't bring the honey with me, especially in tropical places, because it lures too many ants and bugs, and so I don't want to have a bag full of ants and bugs. So if I am traveling in the tropics, I won't bring honey with me. I usually just either rinse my face with water a few times a day, or I might just use like natural soap. But I always go back to using honey, and ever since I've been more settled down here, I'm back to using honey, and I feel much better using it. My skin doesn't dry out, nothing. So yeah, so those are my tips about honey. Do try it out, because it's a great, great cleanser. And give it a chance, give it a few days, give it a few weeks of using it, because a lot of times people in the beginning, when they first try using it, they're like, oh, this feels weird. But if they give it a few days for their skin to balance out, they really do feel a difference. Much smoother the skin, much more moisturized, and just less irritated, and good, just good balance. All right, so I'm wishing you guys a fabulous day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.